Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television. Today is Friday. I'm sure if you will christen it appropriately when the time comes. But just to welcome you to our show for this morning. We have, of course, a news update coming up, and then, of course, some conversations that will brighten your morning. My name is Henry Uzo, and of course, Success Benjamin is also in the studio.
Indeed, it's a fruitful Friday this morning. Welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television, where we bring you topical stories and news headlines making waves around the globe. I am Success Benjamin. Your day just got brightened, and Ify is here in the studio.
Yes, it is indeed a fun Friday today, because we are grateful for the week, how it has been. I am Ify Arono, and it's so good to know that we made it to the very last day in the month of July 2026. Congratulations. Congratulations, Harry. Congratulations.
Yes, I should say congratulations to you. But
viewers.
there's always excitement at the end of the week. No, not month, week.
The end of the week.
There's this thank God it's Friday. Why is it? I tend to think that people are afraid of work or they don't want to work. Why do we say thank God it's Friday all the time?
Let's just let our head down and be grateful that we're able to do all we did during the week.
Yes.
Being thankful, being grateful, as you've seen some of the quotes that we will share with our viewers today. It is an attitude. Yes, and during the weekend, you can at least rest, relax, distress.
Are you sure women rest, for instance?
Well,
they will pile it up with chores, washing of clothes, cooking.
Not chores, not washing of
shopping,
clothes.
As the case may be.
Yes, going to the mall, watch movies, go to the cinema. Chill out.
Okay, now.
Stress is too much.
And then, need to move too much.
And then for us, church.
You don't need to move from home a lot of times because your cinema is on your phone.
Yes, no, that's she could imply that you watch enough movies.
Netflix is there.
But do those things relax a person? Are you not busy when you are watching?
You know, when you are laughing, especially when you watch movies that help you, laughter is medicinal.
I know.
You know, so it's the food of the soul. So anything that relaxes you, you actually need to study yourself to know what cracks you up.
That's true.
Sometimes when I'm laughing heartily, I am excited because I know that lots of toxins are leaving my body.
Okay, so you are deliberate when you laugh.
Yes,
I like that.
It's deliberate.
There's something we have not talked about on the platform, even though people will be surprised it's coming from me. This Big Brother Niger premiered on Sunday. They started on Sunday. And somehow, on this our platform, we have not talked about it.
Yes.
Are you watching?
I think because, Nigerians are so concentrated on, the outcome from the fake agency saga. We want to know every bit of what has happened, what information they have gotten.
What is latest?
That's too serious.
I am even too sure. I'm even too sure that people will say, thank God, a Big Brother has come, so that we just
that's what the strategy.
That's
what the strategy that before the end of the 30 days, Big Brother Nigeria will come and take away, as a distraction for Nigerians. Okay. But this time around, Nigerians wants to know what is happening to their destiny. What their future holds in this country. So it's not longer Big Brother Nigeria because they see Big Brother Nigeria as a way of distracting the Nigerian youth, not to concentrate. Exactly, not to concentrate on the politics of the country and the government of the day.
Then you should take a look at the metrics, the indices, because a lot of young people are watching. I believe that in subsequent, interactions with our entertainment crew, they'll be able to tell us how many young people are stuck on Big Brother Nigeria. And you'll be shocked. Like,
yes, that is it.
They do not want to even get into this following up on what's going on. They just want to tune off. Remember, this is the same demographic that is constantly thinking of Japa. So if Big Brother Nigeria will give them the escape, remember what media does. You can escape into another world where you're not bothered about what's going on. Because in Nigeria, you'd already believe these people, we're not sure it will get better.
I saw a clip that was quarreling about the people they brought this time. They said they were very ugly and
Okay,
yes. That's ugly.
Somebody was saying that.
Let me not say
the first head of house, who I saw as well that he was, he through balloting, he became the first head of house.
Yes.
He's a nice looking, fair guy. So maybe he's the finest one among them.
No, you know, lady, it was a lady that made the clip. Maybe she expected, yes, she said perhaps. The ladies, they were like men and all that.
Oh, wow. Well, they came for the money. So the money is bigger.
So much.
And there's also another one, like when she was on interview with Big Bibi, she was already asking Big Brother to loan her in case she didn't win.
She loan her some money.
To loan her some money ahead.
Everybody needs money in Nigeria.
This money matter.
Yes.
All right, that's so much on Big Brother. Viewer will come back to continue with our program. Of course, news updates is following and success is standing by. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
News update on Morning Dew. The All Progressive Congress APC Uye chapter in Delta State has denied allegations linking the party and the host of the Delta Central Strategic Convergence, Honorable Chief Anthony Onorode Ufoni, who is also the executive chairman of Uye local government area, to the violent incident involving Mr. Moody Temple, senior special assistant on protocol to the governor of Delta State. The incident reportedly occurred at the Petroleum Training Institute PTI Conference Center in Efuru. In a statement, the APC Uye chapter chairman, Comrade Dick Sylvester Ogenewede, said neither the party nor Honorable Ofoni had any involvement in the incident. According to the statement, the Delta Central APC Strategic Convention was organized to strengthen party unity, improve mobilization, and advance the party's 5-5 agenda ahead of the 2027 general elections. The meeting brought together elected officials, party executives, and youth leaders and other stakeholders. The chairman explained that the meeting ended successfully, noting that the violence did not occur inside the conference hall, but within the premises of the PTI Conference Center. The APC urged the public to avoid drawing conclusions before investigations are concluded, stressing that its political activities are based on peaceful democratic engagement. The party also called on security agencies to conduct a thorough and impartial investigation and ensure that anyone found responsible is prosecuted regardless of political affiliation. Meanwhile, Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori has directed security agencies to carry out comprehensive investigation and ensure that all those involved in the assault are brought to justice. A human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore appeared at the Federal High Court in Abuja carrying a customized Ghana Must Go bag with the inscription Tinubu Must Go. The symbolic display was part of his protest against the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Sowore used the modified bag to express his dissatisfaction with the current state of governance during his court appearance and a media briefing. Speaking to journalists, the activist criticized the government's policies and reiterated his views on the country's political direction. Photos and videos of the protests quickly circulated on social media, attracting mixed reactions, while supporters described the action as consistent with Sowore's style of activism. Critics questioned the dramatic nature of the protests. Adams Oshomole has criticized the Minister of Works, David Umahi, over what he described as the neglect of key federal highways linking Edo and Delta states. Speaking during plenary at the National Assembly, the Edo North Senator questioned the approval of 20 new roads projects, while several major highways remain in poor condition.
More that I've had,
said,
I think the Federal Minister of Works need to be guided. Because whereas we have all these old roads that are in bad shape, he proposing the construction of new roads when existing roads are not there. Because 3 weeks ago, I understand 20 new roads were approved. Yet, sir, between Edo and Delta, there is manifest bias by the Minister of Works. You cannot go to Warri and you are here, Senator Dafinoni. You can't go to Warri from Benin. You can't go to Asaba from Benin. You can't go to Auchi from Benin. You can't go from Auchi to Okene from Benin. What have we done wrong? I think the minister has shown consistently there is no federal allocation. It is Mr. President goodwill. Mr. President goodwill that he directed that they should use tax credit to deal with part of this section. Otherwise, all the budget over the past 3 years, in spite of the first motion under your leadership that was moved to draw his attention, the Federal Minister of Works has failed deliberately to include that portion bordering Delta and Edo in the national budget. So I plead with you to urge him to be more balanced and have national overview of his responsibility.
Oshomole said roads connecting Benin, Warri, Asaba, Auchi, and Okene have become difficult to use due to severe deterioration affecting commuters and economic activities. He also alleged that the affected road corridors have not received adequate funding in recent budget cycles. The senator called on the leadership of the National Assembly to summon the Minister of Works and ensure a more balanced approach to road development with greater attention given to maintaining existing federal highways. Now, on entertainment, former Big Brother Naija housemate Pere Egbe has called on the Nigerian Immigration Service to deny visas to South African singer Tyler and her team. His reaction follows reports that Nigerian singer Ara Star's scheduled concert in South Africa was cancelled after she and members of her team were allegedly denied visas just days before the event. In a post on X, Pere urged Nigerian authorities to respond with similar measures, arguing that Nigerian entertainers should not continue to face visa challenges in South Africa, while South African artists are freely welcomed into Nigeria. He also disagreed with human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, who opposed calls by some Nigerians to boycott Tyler's planned concert in the country. Pere wrote, Nigerian immigration, we are collectively imploring you to intentionally deny Tyler and her team visas as well. They can't do this to our own and we welcome theirs. Madness must match madness. He maintains that Nigeria should take a firm stand over the reported treatment of our star and her team. Now on foreign news, the United States military says it carried out fresh overnight airstrikes on military command centers of Iran's Revolutionary Guards and drone facilities. The operation came after U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to retaliate following Iran's launch of ballistic missiles at American forces stationed in Jordan.
Mediterranean, I mean, the first reaction was like, it's too far away from the conflict zone. It's far away from Iran, it's far away from Yemen, it's far away, quite honestly, from many places in the battle zone, but the significance of this development is immense. what was happening in the past 6 months when the US attacked Iran and Iran retaliated was that the military actions have shut the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz in the Gulf is the world's most important oil evacuation route. It is responsible for roughly 17% of global oil supply. Saudi Arabia was preparing for this crisis for many, many years, if not decades. Because Saudi Arabia strategically has built a pipeline towards the Red Sea. So Saudi Arabia was able to reroute oil to the port of Yanbu on the Red Sea. From there, it was sending tankers down south to supply Asian clients via the very narrow Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Now, the problem...
The Iranian state media reported that at least 3 people were killed in the strikes on Qasem Island. Meanwhile, a U.S.-owned floating storage tanker was reportedly hit by a drone at an Egyptian port on the Mediterranean Sea, according to British maritime security firm Amber, raising concerns over a further escalation of the 5-month conflict. Earlier, U.S. and Saudi forces also carried out strikes on Iran-backed groups in eastern Iraq. And that's it for the news update. Stay with us on Morning Dew as we return with much more insightful discussions after this break. Don't go away.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we go straight to the headlines in the papers. We are starting with the New Telegraph. We have Tinubu Obasanjo Oti call for national unity as Abia honors Agui Ironsi. Insecurity. FG, state drew action plan at Umuahia Security Summit. Wike, we are appealing to Tinubu over 400 billion naira Millennium Tower project. There's global shift towards grassroots populism. Anakri. And of course, the banner headline says, resident doctors issue August 10th strike notice over unpaid arrears, welfare concerns. Finally, on New Telegraph, Osho 2026, INEC deploys undercover operatives to tackle vote buying. That's all on New Telegraph.
All right, bringing us to the Daily Independent. We have here Nigeria laying foundation for $1 trillion economy. LPDC suspends Gadzama for 3 years over Zaki Biam case. Why we zeroed out ransom in Orire kidnap rescue by Tinubu. Olubadan urges Tinubu to secure forests to prevent bandits regrouping. And here the major headline says, cotton, textile revival may boost job surge, FX stability. Now, above the masthead, we have military deployment in elections shouldn't be routine. INEC is speaking there. Then we have Osun people won't be intimidated ahead of Guba polls at Deleke. Now on health, residents, doctors threatens nationwide strike over unpaid salaries and welfare. NIHSA warns of severe flood threats in 27 states. And that's all for the Daily Independent.
Let's move now to Business Day. And we have this major story. Large corporates enter e-invoicing era as early birds flag hurdles. And we also have below the masthead how Otedola moved first holdco to Nigeria's most valuable bank, rising violence, killings threaten Osun Guba election. Insurance recapitalization deadline ends today as sector awaits NICOM verdict. Of course, our guests pointed out that yesterday. Let's move ahead.
All right, moving on to the Daily Trusts. We have how Colonel Uday was killed in Abuja. Then we have FG sets over 2,000 illicit weapon ablaze. Newlywed sentenced to death for killing husband. 9 died in Abuja Lokoja road crash. Now the topical story there says victims, families await compensation 2 years after. We have the top part of it says, stop building flyovers, Tinubu tells governors. INEC rejects routine deployment of soldiers during election. Otedola raises stake at first holdco to 25.87%. And that's it with Daily Trust.
Next is the Nigeria Tribune. We have why we refuse to negotiate with Oriri terrorists. Tinubu is the one speaking. Then, of course, next to that, we have Osun 2026, political parties seal accord for peaceful poll. Then, only 1,200 medical doctors, 9 million residents in Ogun. NMA raises alarm. And of course, Oyo government sets up judicial commission to probe Orire students' abduction. That's all we can take on that Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, so let's take a look at The Guardian. On The Guardian, we have Oyedele explains how Nigeria spent FX subsidy removal savings. Senate expands oil sector probe to agencies, firms over NEIT's audit findings. Harariwa accuses reps panel of prejudging PFIPC probe. Now the topical story there says high cost of hepatitis care, stressed facilities expose 20 million to liver damage. And we have fresh claims, counterclaims overshadow Osun peace accord ahead of polls. FG ends dirty fuel, says no petrol above 50 ppm in Nigeria. FG adopts household mapping to tackle 15 million out of school children. And we have the last here, say contract fraud, most prevalent corruption in public sector, says EFCC boss. And that's it for The Guardian.
What do we have this morning on The Nation? Let's find out. Above the masthead, we have FCCPC seeks tighter control to protect electricity consumers. That will interest everyone in Nigeria, and that's on page 25. The major headline on The Nation today, how federal government deploying fuel subsidy savings by Oyedele, and the rider is funds used for debt servicing, minimum wage, student loans, others, subsidy on petrol, forex accounted for 5% of GDP. Stop parading yourselves as federal government officials, Tinubu tells XPIC secretary and members. These are the few stories we can take on The Nation this morning.
Now bringing us to The Punch this morning, we have drug trafficking in Africa jumps 6-fold in 2 years. Fuel subsidy savings report coming soon. That is Oyedele speaking. Then now the major headline here, we have why we tracked arrested kidnappers family, Tinubu. Then the riders below here says adopters wanted us to release their detained members, pay ransom. That's presidency speaking. We were prepared to finish with terrorist families. Militants from Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, fearing Nigeria's insecurity. Tinubu is speaking there. And that's it for The Punch.
Next is This Day. And of course, we have South Africa's Consul General sues for healing, reconciliation. Apparently, that's with other African countries that they chased away. Says Nigeria stood by us when the world remained silent. let's fall in love again with each other's land.
Is that so?
That's from the Consul General. Of course, he's here based in Nigeria, so he has to speak well.
It has to be diplomatic.
All right, that's diplomacy. Next is Tinubu. We will not pay ransom or negotiate with terrorists, murderers, kidnappers. Confirms Oyo abduction suspects demanded money, gang leaders swapping. Then, of course, all right, that's all we have from this day.
All right, lastly and but not the last, on Vanguard, we have landing on Delta Road. Aircraft crew still in DSS detention. Unmet demand. Residents' doctor begins strike August 10th. Nigeria mourns ex-finance minister Abubakar Alhaji. Then the topical headline there says, FG Labour clash over use of fuel subsidy remover savings. Then the rider below says, savings used to service increased workers' salaries orders. You are economical with truth, Labour tells FG. Darius. Finance Minister to produce evidence on salary claim. Then the top part of it, we have Orire, why we refuse to negotiate with terrorists. Nigeria, other African countries face six-fold security threat in 2 years. And that's it for the Vanguard.
And very much that's it on newspaper headlines as well. And this morning, shortly, our analyst will be in the studio, so we'll talk about the topical stories that we must not miss on a day like this. We'll be right back. This is Morning Dew on Dott TV.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta State government invites business leaders, global investors, policymakers, and industry captains to the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, themed Harnessing Our Strengths and Unlocking Our Potentials. Chief guest of honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Keynote speaker, Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON. Guest speaker, renowned scholar, Professor Patrick Lumumba. Chairman of the occasion, Engineer Austin Avuru. Other distinguished local and international participants will also be in attendance. Date, August 3 to 5, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. daily. Venue, Dome Event Center, Asaba. Chief host, His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Obrewori, Governor, Delta State. Announcer, Dr. Kingsley Emu, Secretary to Delta State Government and Chairman Planning Committee.
Hello, my name is Sheriff Obrewori, the Governor of Delta State. I have the pleasure to invite you to Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, taking place in Asaba from August 3rd to 5th, 2026. Over 40 prospective investors from Brazil and China, policymakers, business leaders, and international development partners are expected at this summit. It is an opportunity to connect your business ideas with capital, foster strategic partnerships, and take your business to a new level of growth and expansion. This government believes strongly in the economic development model that is led by the private sector. Hence, we have put in place investor-friendly policies that encourage private investors, support business growth, and foster massive industrialization of our state. With Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON, as keynote speaker, and Professor Patrick Lumumba as guest speaker, the summit promises to be an exciting and rewarding time for all participants. So, join us and be part of shaping the next chapter of Delta State's economic.
Ready to be part of one of Africa's most exciting investment gatherings? Here's how to secure your spot for the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026.
First, visit investdelta.ng and click Register Now. Next, fill in your details accurately, including your name, email address, phone number, organization, position, and industry.
Then, select the sector you're most interested in, from energy and the digital economy to agriculture, mining, tourism, transport infrastructure, and more. Also, choose the attendee category that best describes you.
Review your information carefully and submit your registration. Once it's approved, you receive a confirmation email. Be sure to save your confirmation as you need it for accreditation and entry into the summit.
Join investors, business leaders, innovators, policymakers, and development partners at the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, happening August 3rd to 5th at the Dome Event Center, Asaba. Visit investdelta.ng today and secure your place.
Delta is ready for business. Are you?
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, reading out the headlines, a flurry of them. And we need to look at them as much as we can. Godfrey Obaka is in the studio. Thank God it's Friday.
Oh yeah, thank God it's a Friday. Not just a Friday, a significant one at that.
Okay.
Connecting us to the month of August.
Yeah. The last day.
Yeah,
of the seventh month of the year.
The last day, yes.
All right. You're welcome. I want us to start on this rather concerning notes. So much about politics, so much about. But now, doctors are giving us 10 days notice that they are going to go on strike. And against that background, over unpaid, salaries and welfare packages. And then, of course, we had a report from Osun State that about 1,200 doctors are attending to over 9 million people in that state. That's a grim this thing. And of course, hepatitis care, 20 million to live to live on liver threat, because of hepatitis. So that's painting a very serious picture
about our health
situation
and how we are underfunding the health sector, especially because those who consider that they are the ones who matter, they do not patronize our health sector. Talking about health tourism,
they go on health vacation.
Yes, they go on health vacation each time. Starting from our presidents, we've had them, a number of them, who they do not use. There was a time in this country where a Ghanaian president had to be treated at the UCH.
Yeah.
They call them, you know, so a center of excellence. But all that has turned now where who is who in the country, you know, even with a headache, they fly abroad to be taken care of. So it's about a health sector that is underfunded. It's also about a health sector that has been so neglected, so much so that you now find a situation where health workers who want to have a fulfilling career will rather go to other climes to practice their profession. So at the end of the day, it's not just that we are not anywhere near the World Health Organization specified doctor population ratio. We are not anywhere near it, but you will find out that the lacuna is widening by the day. And we are not doing, because the health is critical.
Very well.
And we've we've had today, a healthy population should be a productive population. But we have a situation where incidentally health falls under the concurrent list, where we expect the local government to play a role with the primary health care centers and all that. The state to also play lead role. Then, of course, the federal government with the tertiary institutions, you know, but that appears not to be the case. And that is not radically separated from why we have the life expectancy ratio that we have right now.
Where could it be now? The last time it was 49 for...
Yeah, from 69, it has come down to 57, 55, and now 55, and it's going further down. And we have doctors who go to climes where they help the population to live
longer,
85 and above, you know, as healthcare professionals and also as caregivers and all that. So that is the dilemma. Then why can't the government of the day fix it? That is the question we should be asking. Most of the time, the way it is for ASU, that is the way it is for health workers. You see a situation where they negotiate, they promise them they will pay them allowances, residency, training allowance. But at the end of the day, government is not in a position, government is declined from matching its word with action. And these people will wait for another 2-3 years and come back to renegotiate the same thing. You know, so we are not sincere. You know, I mean, government is not sincere with the issue of having to fund the health sector and having to make it professionally fulfilling for the practitioners in there.
A Canada-based doctor recounted or reflected on his journey when he was practicing in Nigeria. 2 things he said, I read that on the internet this morning, that while he was working, that was in a hospital in Anambra, that then he did not have a comfortable office and he would prefer to sleep in his car because the mosquitoes in his car were less than the ones in his office.
Of course, they should be less.
And then he also said that whenever they were doing procedures, I mean surgery, that they'll always keep a torchlight on standby because you're not sure of their power. So it also tells us something about how that we are not sincere as a people to even demand that government does something, because some people are perhaps ripping up the system in some way. That's why these systems are allowed to continue.
I'm sure he operated, he practiced at an age different doctors who were practicing even in the government hospital here in Ogwashuku. We had an Indian community who were practicing right in here. We had doctors from Ghana who were ready to work in Nigeria, even as nurses, because the pay here in Nigeria was far more compared to what they were paid in Ghana. So it's a value of a reflection of the economy and also a reflection of the value chain and perhaps what the government of the day, how committed, how sincere the government of the day is
to the people.
To the people.
Should we request as the Nigerian people that anyone who comes out for public office should be willing to patronize for healthcare, for education, for anything you want to do? It must be in Nigeria. Even for your children.
This is not the first time.
How do you advocate
this is
that?
not the first time
Somebody's
that
a PA,
advocacy is coming.
Abroad.
This is not the first time that advocacy is coming. People have said, for you to aspire to be a president of this country or leadership position, let us see your children at the University of Ife.
Okay.
Let us see your children.
That's even elitist.
Let us see your children
in Delsu.
In Delsu. Let us see your children
in your state university.
Yeah. You understand?
Because they are multiplying every day.
No, you cannot send your children to study in the best of the universities in UK and be sincere with the quality of what you have in here. If you do not endorse our quality, then who will come to patronize us? At the University of Calabar, as an undergraduate, I had South Africans as my classmates
at that time.
And they were on scholarship.
OAU
scholarship, with respect to the struggle, the apartheid struggle there.
Even Nigeria offered them
I sent my children to study in South Africa and somebody is pursuing them away. That's a matter for another
day. All right, so much on that. Of course, it paints the picture of where we are in our country. Now, we are talking about reviving the textile industry. The time was when the industry in the country was booming. We used to hear of Asaba Textile Mill and other ones. And of course, when you go to Ogun State, this Adire, tying of Adire was a booming business. Now we're talking about revamping them as if to create job and all that. All these talks, why don't we just see action instead of talks?
Well, the textile industry, they were providing jobs, and they were also stabilizing the economy.
That's right.
Yes, but they were all over the country. And we have a senator today who rose in that rank, in the person of Oshomole.
Yeah.
But we have a situation where over time, our dependence on import, we were depending so much on import, and our manufacturing sector here, our industries, especially the textile industries, could not compete with their counterparts abroad.
Why?
Why? Because of the cost of production.
Okay.
Your public power is failing.
Yeah.
You are running on generator and diesel, and of course now you factor in security for your workers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what have you produced? What is the unit cost for one? And for you to have your return on investment, what will be the markup for the pricing? When you compare that with economies in China and India and some other Asian tigers, you see a situation where they are mass production, and they are looking for our distributors in here that they want to just have you buy in on your trust, send in materials ship in materials into your warehouse.
Yeah.
You sell. When you are done selling,
then you
can refund because they are
easier
businesses and they want to penetrate the world. At the end of the day, the unit cost of the one produced in India could be some 10 naira. And your own unit cost here for you to make profit is 25, 30 naira. So at the end of the day, you cannot compete. You cannot compete because the public infrastructure failed you. And of course, at the end of the day, the cost of production does not make you to remain in the market. So we had a situation where our textile industry started dying.
Yeah, folding up.
And
now,
this
now
was
that the situation has not changed much.
Yes.
We still have this issue with power. Now, talking about revamping the textile industry, is it empty talks or we're expecting serious business this time?
Even knowing that the First Lady has also said that in their second term, that she will be wearing akwete all through. And of course, we know the man that started that is my governor, Professor Charles Tupu
Those things are slogans.
Yeah, so does that show that there is hope for the textile industry somehow?
Yeah, there is hope if we sincerely work towards the hope and do less of the sloganeering and let there be action. We have spent so much in trying to bring the public power supply up to date. But every day we are experiencing collapse of the national
back and
grid.
forth.
And we find out that we cannot, it's not easy for any outfit to source its own power and still be competitive. So until we're able to do that, until we're able to settle issues of insecurity, of course, the market is there and we have labor. And until we're also able to synchronize our curriculum out there in the institutions with the industry need, until we're able to do all those, we may just find out that we are doing the talk.
We're just talking.
And the Asian tigers are producing and taking over the market.
Because talk is cheap.
And talk is cheap. And at the end of the day, it's not going to lead us anywhere in terms of, because we actually need to get our economy working.
Exactly.
We need a situation where the factories can come back to life.
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or not,
so that drive the economy.
It can take care of the issue of criminality, crime and criminality. We must make crime unattractive.
Yeah.
We must make crime unattractive. A time was in Delta where by the time Asaba Textile Mill that was running shift, if one shift closes, you will see the army of people coming out of that premises. The same thing in Aswani in Lagos.
Yeah.
And some of those industrial hubs by the Jakonde Estate, somewhere there in Ogba and Lagos Axis. But today, what has happened to them? What has happened to Dunlop?
They started riding Okada.
They've all relocated and they didn't go far. They went to our West African neighbors.
Yeah.
Because they recognize the potential of Nigeria as a market hub. So they go there, they produce, and they bring back for us to buy.
To sell at very high.
Exactly. We buy in
because
here.
It's imported now.
We buy in here. And that is not helping the stability of our
currency.
Naira.
There is a stretch on the currency.
All right, so much. When we come back, we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we'll go to other more serious areas. I try to come on this soft note so that we don't, because it's Fun Friday anyway. We don't get bored with this issue of insecurity, but then we can't avoid them because they are always there. Well, viewer, stay with us. We'll be back. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, let's return back to the theater of the absurd that our Nigerian nation has become. The Orire issue has not ended. Many things coming up. The abduction. Now, first, President Tinubu is shouting loudly how we did not negotiate with them, how we did not compromise with them, how we tracked them. Meanwhile, somebody somewhere said the government released 4 billion naira.
No,
5 billion naira to negotiate with them. At the end of the day, the people are complaining that only 1 billion thereabout.
1.something billion got to them.
9 billion.
Okay, 1.9 came. So
that means 4.9 is hanging.
The 3 point something is used for logistics.
For the facilitators and the logistics.
Now, who do we believe now? Because even now he says we won't negotiate, we don't negotiate, we can't negotiate. And concerning that one, we tracked them, we did that. Somebody is saying money was spent. Why have we?
Well, Mr. President received the Olubadon and the chiefs.
Yes.
And so it was a platform for him. Apparently, I'm sure that they went there to thank him for how swiftly
I attended to the matter.
Moved,
of course.
After 56 days.
Yes, and rescued those who were captured.
The key word is rescue.
Yes,
they were rescued.
There was rescue. But it's been very, very controversial over the circumstances. So controversial that the chief security of or your state, that we need to get to the root of the matter so that at the end of the day, we do not have a recurrence. It is in his position to do, because he's the chief security officer.
But now that the federal government
at the point where he was putting together that committee to be inaugurated about now this morning in Ibadan, the president of the country is telling the world how heroic the military were, you know, and how they put up the security, the strategy of tracking the relatives of the abductors,
not negotiating
and
with
refusing not to negotiate with them, that they had asked for money, they had also asked for a release of a swap, you know, but that they held their grounds, and that the military knows the forest and was able to track them right in there to the forest. Meanwhile, one of those who were released was saying that one of their captors, the lead person there, smiled at some point, you know, and asked them to go. And that they had gotten to a point before they met the Nigerian military. So you now begin to ask yourself, which one do you believe? They were released and they met the military, or it was the military that came for their rescue. What is important, however, is that they are free now, you know. But upon that, he also said that the experience of Orire, you know, informed the
that's the is marking the
no.
Okay.
The president is saying that the experience of Orire was what informed the recent policy of building up the military bases in the country from 8 to 12, so that they will be in a better position, for swift response on issues of insecurity. You know, so the president had a lot to chew. He had a lot to say yesterday.
All right, that's the much you can take on paper review this morning. Thank you, Godfrey, for being there. And of course, we go straight to a conversation we had with a young man who did exploit for not just Nigeria, not just Delta State, his family. And of course, everybody's happy that he did the exploit at the spelling bee in China. Happy viewing. And of course, when we come back, we'll continue.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew,
where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
A 14-year-old Asaba boy traveled to China as part of Nigeria's spelling bee contingent, and he came back to Nigeria and to Delta State, not just as the boy who left earlier, but as the world spelling bee champion. Welcome to this interaction with our spelling bee champion, Chinedu Great Okediachi.
Thank you.
You're indeed great. Give me a high five. Wow. So how do you feel? I mean, a lot has happened since you came back. Just tell me how you feel first.
Okay, I feel happy that everybody were excited and happy, and they welcomed me when I came back. And our royal father, the Asaba Osama, he gave me a scholarship. I feel really happy about that. Our governor gave me a cash prize of 20 million.
Wow.
I'm really happy about that. As everybody welcomed me when I was coming from the airport, everybody came and welcomed me, and they were very excited. I was really very, very happy.
Oh my gosh, a lot has happened. We're going to just unpack all that has happened. As you've said, not just has the state honored you, the royal father of Asaba, who is himself a professor, has also honored you with scholarship. A lot has happened. You're 20 million naira richer as well, courtesy of the education-loving governor of Delta State, Governor Sheriff Oborewori. Before we go into what that means to you, let's talk about this journey. Who is Chinedu Great Okediachi? Tell us about your school, maybe your parents. Give us a background about you.
Okay, my name is Chinedu Great Okediachi. I'm 14 years, I'm in SS2.
Okay.
The name of my school is Madonna International College. The name of my parents are Mr. Comrade Obeshi Obodo Okediachi.
Okay.
Then the name of my mom is Mrs. Okenyachi Onyechukwu Promise.
They must be so proud of you.
Yes, they are.
What did your mom make for you when you came back?
If I can remember, I think she cooked jollof rice for me when I came back. I was very, very enjoyable.
Awesome. So now let's start with, where did this journey start? At what point did you notice that you could do this?
Well, actually in my JS3, when I actually liked English.
Okay.
That's all primary school. So in my JS3, I found out that they were going for a spelling bee. So I decided to volunteer and test myself.
You volunteered?
Yes, I volunteered. To test myself because of my love for English and other English related subjects. So I reasoned that I'm just try and test myself. So as I went for the state qualifiers, as I won the state qualifiers, I reasoned that I had the talent in spelling. So I think that's what started everything.
Okay, so you actually found yourself out. You discovered it. It wasn't a teacher. It wasn't your father. It was you. You noticed that you love the English language and you decided to volunteer to participate and represent your school. So after you won the state level, what happened up until this time?
After I won the state level, we went for...
When was that? What year?
Okay, the state level was March 2025. That was
last year. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Then we went for the nationals. I think that was in July 2025, the same last year. We went for the nationals. Then after the nationals, we went for the Africa. I think there was an issue, so they had to postpone it to this year. So we did the African Spelling Bee March 26th, this year, March 25th this year. Then after the African Spelling Bee, they gave us a notice that they want to do the first ever Spelling Bee World Cup that will be hosted.
Okay, this is the first ever.
Yes.
Are you serious? Give me a high five. Wow. So talk to us about, this is the very first time. No one, I thought it's been happening all this while. So it's the first. So talk to us about how you got to become one of the first, because I'm sure that this is the gold category. You know, this is a gold award. So talk to us about how you went to China. What led to it?
Okay, after the African Spelling Bee, during the African Spelling Bee, we came out the first runner-up.
Let's take this slowly. You at the African level, you were already part of Nigeria's contingent, right?
Yes.
How many were you?
We were 5.
Okay, 5.
Yes.
So at that level, you people came out first runners up. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Then after the African Spelling Bee, we thought that it was ended. Then we got a notification that we have been invited for the first ever Spelling Bee World Cup held in Shanghai, China. So we made preparations towards it. We were asking for funding and money because it was actually a huge amount for traveling and other logistics. So to the point that one of our teammates couldn't go due to lack of funding. So one of our teammates from Lagos, he couldn't go.
Oh my.
So
nobody represented Lagos?
No.
Oh.
So then we did some fundings. The Referred of Asaba funded me.
The Asaba funded you?
Yes, our Delta State government, they still funded us and made sure that our bill was covered. So I think
when you say I thought it was just you. Who else?
Me and my coach.
Okay. So who was your coach?
His name is Mr. Obiosai Jomo.
Yeah, I need to know, at what point did he begin coaching you?
Okay, he began coaching me since the state qualifiers.
Once you qualified for the state,
yes,
you were taken up by the state. So the Delta State Ministry of Higher Education was intentional with taking ownership of it, and perhaps they saw the victory, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they saw the victory.
Okay. Yeah, and then he began coaching you. So what were some of the drills that you had to go through? You can give some secrets out to your mates out there.
Okay, he gave me, for every stage, national, the African, and the world Spelling Bee, he gave me a guide, a list of words that I can read. Sometimes, because I'm a boarder in my school.
Okay.
So sometimes he use his phone he will give me his phone so that I can look for the meaning of the words or the pronunciation of the words.
Is he a teacher in your school?
No, he's the managing director
of your school.
Yes.
Okay, so at that point, because you had gone to the state level, the managing director of your school began to coach you personally.
Yes.
So the school also took ownership of it.
Yes.
All right. So he'll give you word list and what more?
Yes.
What more?
he still like he took some time to teach me some English words and some words that came from another origin. Okay. So he also gave me his phone to look for the meaning of words. He took me through many things that helped me in all my spelling bees. It took me to many things that actually helped me.
Okay, so it's not really you're giving us an insider detail. It's not just about knowing words, it's also about knowing their origin and knowing what they mean. Yes. Just tell us a bit more about what it takes to become a world spelling bee champion like you.
Okay, what it takes is that you actually have to take your free time to read, to practice, because you can't only practice like 1 hour or 2 hours, walk and no play, make a dull boy. So sometimes you have to play, but most times you have to take your free time to read your spelling bee words and practice in sentence, pronunciation, language of origin. So you look for those are like the key things that you look for in a word to know how to spell the word correctly.
Awesome, awesome. So at the level when you had to travel, you did mention to us that you were graciously sponsored by the Royal Father of Asaba, who funded your trip as well as the state government. So when you then joined Team Nigeria, what was the trip to China like? Was it the first time you were leaving Nigeria?
No, actually, it was not the first time I was leaving Nigeria because we went to Zimbabwe for the African.
Okay, for the African.
Yes, okay. And I think when I was 8 years, I went to Cameroon. Oh, because I have a family in Cameroon. I have my cousins are in Cameroon, so I went there to stay with them. So it's not the first time.
The third time.
Yes, it's the third time.
But this time to Asia.
Yes.
So how did you feel?
So I felt good. Well, I felt sick at some times because I was staying in the plane for 10 hours straight. Is a stressful thing, and China had like change of environment, so I was having some stomach pains based on change of environment, and China's timeline is different with Nigeria's timeline. So in the night when I'm meant to feel sleepy, I might feel energetic. But in the morning when I'm meant to feel energetic, I might feel sleepy. So I think that was some of the problems I had in China.
All right, let's move away from problems, yeah, because I'm sure that you made friends, you networked. What about their food? What are the brighter sides of your trip to China?
Okay, the brighter side is that foods are good, they're cultural. Okay. Like if you see their foods, you can know yes, they are the country, but the Chinese cuisine, I usually go there to test new foods, and the foods are actually good and sweet. But there are some foods that Nigerians might not like, but overall the foods are actually good. Their cultural foods are actually good. China is a cultural place. When you go to China, you can say, okay, yes, China is a cultural place. You see people speaking Chinese, the place is hot, and you can see like logos or more things than Chinese are Chinese written. So when you go to China, you will mostly see that things are Chinese. You can know, yes, this is really a Chinese place.
All right. Now, talk to us about how you were able to. Did you meet other people from other countries? What was it like, really?
Yes, I met other people from other countries. I made friends. I met people from China, Japan, and other countries like America, India, and other countries. So I made friends with them. Although I couldn't get their numbers because they use different
country codes and the likes.
Yes. And they don't use WhatsApp. They use something called WeChat, and it's very stressful. Very stressful app. Talks and we collaborated. We worked together and we did other activities.
Okay, yes, we're still having a fun chat with our World Spelling Bee champion, Chinedu Great Okediachi, right here on Dott TV. We'll be right back after the short break. Do not go away.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Thank you for staying with us. Yes, we're still having this very insightful conversation with our World Spelling Bee champion, Chinedu Great Okediachi, who is a son of Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. Hi, Chinedu. I hope you're good. Yes, and you're still basking in the euphoria of all the wins. So we're talking about your stay in China and all that happened. Talk to us about the competition. Were there stages? Just walk us through what it took for you to earn the gold award.
Okay, the competition, there were different categories. Like there was a middle school group, there was advanced, there was intermediate, there was beginner. Those are like for people that are younger than me, because that were different grades. So there is a stage called the AI spelling bee. So we first round is the AI spelling bee. We do like we spell in the tablets. They will say the word out loud, then we will type it in the tablet. When we submit, they'll show it in a big screen whether it's correct or not. So we did 2 of those rounds. We did 2 of those rounds, and we did an oral round to get our points to know who go to the next stage. So we passed. I passed the stage. I went to the next stage. Then the next stage, they will keep asking us questions to spell. Is like we'll go to stage and spell. They keep asking us questions to spell until most of us get eliminated, and they will call the winners, top 5, good award, and other.
Okay, in your category, which is the middle school category, can you give us an estimate of the number of people you had to go against to emerge winner?
Okay, in the middle school category, if it's an estimation, I would say like maybe 50 or
50. And then it kept scaling down until.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
From Harrison, that is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli, this will be 3 for Arsenal.
Yes, you can see how that young man did us proud. We expect that more young Nigerians should concentrate and do things that will take our names beyond the borders of this country. Congratulations again to young, what's that his
Great
name?
Okediachi.
Great Okediachi.
And that's just part of the
Asaba.
package.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
All
we'll
right.
have that at a subsequent date.
We're going to give you a fuller interview, a fuller version of that interview at a later date, because we have to go straight to sport, because Anthony Uche is already in the studio. So what do we have today, Anthony?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Anthony.
Quite a few on the menu today, and top of that menu, unfortunately, in the last an hour and a half or so, it was confirmed. Of course, news broke a few days back that Franco Baresi had passed on, but AC Milan debunked those news and said they were just rumors. But now, in the last hour and a half, like I said, the Italian club have finally announced and confirmed the death of who's not only a club legend but also an Italian football legend, Franco Baresi, at the age of 66. A lot of us know him as the General Franco,
Yes.
and he was always at the heart of that Milan defense.
He was
yourself,
he was part of the
around
heroes of
his generation.
Spana 82.
Yes, Spain 82.
He was their right fullback.
Yes, he could play right fullback, he could play centre back, and at some point, the order he got, he was at Milan for 20 years, captained the club for 15, and the order he got towards the end of his career, he was paired alongside, of course, who the great Paolo Maldini. And the two of them, they were just they
were legends.
Yeah, they were just unbeatable on their day. And like I said, one of the biggest icons of Catenaccio as well. Unfortunately, at 66, he's no longer with us. Hopefully, his soul gets a good repose, and for Milan and his family, hopefully they get the consolation that they deserve. And even until his death, even as recently as a few years ago, he was still active in the game, going for awards and presenting those as well for Milan.
Is a very young age.
Yes, he is a very young age, and but
66.
we're yet to find out the reasons or the cause for his death, which will emerge eventually in due time. And then, of course, that was just a news that came up and it scattered my whole schedule of the program. But now we'll go back to what I had already scheduled, and that will start from the Commonwealth Games, because yesterday Team Nigeria was in action, and the athletics, the one a lot of us looked up to, and as you can see on the screen there, Tobiloba Amusan, she finished third, unfortunately. in the 100 meters hurdles event. And, Charlton and Simmons, as you can see on the screen from the Bahamas, she took first, and then, Simmons second, while our own, Musan took third on the turn, in the 100 meters hurdles race. And of course, as you can see on the screen, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, he wiped some of our tears because he became the first Nigerian ever to win gold medals, to win a gold medal in the shot put event at the Commonwealth Games. He did so yesterday. And the 2 medals that were won yesterday now push Nigeria up on the medals table to 5th. Don't look at number 1. Australia are in a differently they're an entirely different world of their own. Look at their medals.
Their own sport comes forward.
Yes,
now. That's swimming.
Yes,
that's where
they have 110 medals. The closest is 65 with England. That is almost the same amount, it's almost twice the amount that England has. So, that's why I say don't look too far ahead, but just look at number 5, Nigeria, 16 medals, 8 gold, 5, silver and 3 bronze. And this is day 7. The event will finish after 10 days. So maybe a few more chances for us to get higher up on that medals table. And then after that, you joked with me, when I came into the city about the Super Falcons and the disappointment they suffered in their first game, against Malawi.
They suffered and you suffered.
Not necessarily
we suffered.
They suffered and
because he rated them very high.
But deservedly so. My reasons for this. The record winners of the tournaments, indomitable, really looked really good even up to that moment. And in the game, the thing I did not really like from that game was the rhetoric that came out afterwards, blaming the goalkeeper for most of the goals. It was not her fault, really. The defense was just too bad. And the
first goal was her fault.
No, the third one was her fault, but the first and the second, in my opinion, was not. Because when the defense is that high up, that disorganized, if a through pass comes in, the keeper looks and there's no defender really in any position that they should be in. She comes out and tries to sweep. And if she mistimes the ball, it was because she had to come out in the first place. So the defense bears most of the blame, in my opinion, for the 2 goals. The third one, she was badly positioned, and that made it very, very easy for a player, in the likes of Temwa Chiwanga to do what she did on the day. And, it doesn't get any easier because their next game, which is tomorrow, will be against Zambia. Zambia, for context, defeated Egypt by 6-0 in their opening game as well. So that's what I mean when I say it's not going to be easy. But, really, that wake-up call, which the coach called it, Justin Muddy, who came out and said that was a wake-up call for the Super Falcons, and hopefully they'll be waking up now, and from here on, there really is no margin anymore for error from here on. They have to make sure they deal with Zambia and Egypt. I expect to be a smaller opposition for them, in the final group game, and that will put them into the knockout rounds, and hopefully they get to that semi-final first to qualify for the World Cup, and then go on to win the whole thing. They can still do it. This thing is happening in tournaments.
It's possible.
Yes, this thing is happening in tournaments every now and then. And then we'll see. Spain, world champions. Look at what happened. Their first game against Cape Verde, the group stages was widely disappointing for them, but they recovered and went on to win the whole thing. And talking about World Cup, in the last 2 days, a lot has been coming out of the world of football, especially as it concerns FIFA and Gianni Infantino, whose plan to basically sell football off to the highest bidder. That is what I term it as. The plan is that he will sell shares of the World Cup to private investors. But for me, what it looks like is just him trying to sell football to get richer for himself. And all of that, the story and all the drama that's come out of it. In the last few days, UEFA said they will call for a meeting yesterday, an emergency meeting, and that emergency meeting held yesterday. And the conclusion from the 55 member nations of UEFA was that if FIFA go ahead with this plan, they will boycott the World Cup and other FIFA events. That includes the World Cup for the men, the World Cup for the women, and the FIFA Club World Cup.
And that will cripple the events.
That is a very, very big statement. And in October, the first Women's World Cup playoffs will come. That was when we actually see whether UEFA means what they said or not. But they said it yesterday unanimously and unequivocally. They rejected that idea of selling the World Cup shares to private investors. And not just that, CONCACAF, which is in charge of Central and North America as well, also had their own meeting yesterday, and the 41 member nations also said they will not get involved in what FIFA is trying to do. The idea is not good enough. And when you look at all these things, you remember what happened in 2021 with the UEFA, with the European Super League, when Real Madrid and a few other clubs decided to form a league of their own to rival the UEFA Champions League. Something like this happened. A lot of people came out to denounce it. And now Gianni Infantino, I don't know what happens, but because of the things that happened at the World Cup, he probably felt he got away with them. And then that gave him the confidence to think he can go even a step further to basically sell off football to whoever is the highest bidder that comes forward with offers. He's made statements that every member nation will receive around $40 million, which is a lot of money, for their own shares that they will sell to them. And a lot of very, very gullible people have been going around saying a lot of nonsense about it, how it is a good thing. Honestly, sometimes there are things worth more than money. And football is one of those. Football is not for FIFA. Football is governed by FIFA, but they do not own football.
But not many people overcome the appetite for money.
That is their business. If you're that gullible and you cannot say no to money, you do it with your private business. Don't do it with a sport that belongs to everybody in the world.
Give a reason why. Is it becoming too difficult to fund?
It is not.
Okay.
This World Cup, as a matter of fact, that just finished, and they made the highest profit of any World Cup ever, in the tone of about $1 trillion or so. So that is enough money to run the game. And he's trying to go out. Look, if people try to do stuff, they will find reasons to go. He's saying it's for the development of the sport. That is not what it is. Because when you look at the plan on the long run, this FIFA, whatever he wants to form, that will be in charge of selling the shares and controlling the shares of FIFA. If this man's tenure ends in 2031, guess what he's going to go into? The plan is that he becomes the president or the head of that organization that is in charge of selling. So this is basically Gianni Infantino trying to make a 10-year plan of his life at the detriment of football. So when he lies to you and whines you and tells you that it's about the development, it is not about the development. There's only one thing being developed, and it is the pocket size of Gianni Infantino, not the game itself. So when they say he will offer you $40 million, to every federation, which is, basically every country in the world that is registered under FIFA for their shares, it is more than that. It is it's just not as simple as give you $40 million for your shares that you can now resell to other private investors if they choose to buy it from you. It is basically trying to sell football away. And I think it is very, very good that he is reminded, as it is right now, that football is not owned by FIFA. It is only run by FIFA, and football itself belongs to nobody but a lot of people who have interest in the sport.
Wow.
All right, Tony, you were trying to make excuse for our girls that it's a wake-up call.
Yes.
Did you watch that match?
I did watch the game.
But did they come to the party? Because from the blast of the whistle, those Malawians, they were set to do football.
The Malawians were the more physical side. You only have to look at them really to understand what I mean.
They competed for every space, every ball.
But for most spells in the first half especially, the Super Falcons should have been 2 goals up going into halftime. They hit the post from a header from Esther Okoronkwo and then a few other chances that they could not convert. Yes, the Malawians had a few of those in the first half, but they really... If the Super Falcons were as clinical as they usually are, they should be 2 goals up minimum in the first half, and they were not.
I think the Malawians played better in every department of the game. I saw it.
Of course, and they got rewarded. That was how they
could have even scored more goals.
Yes, and they were deserved winners of the game. But what I'm trying to say is, yes, not necessarily a 5-star performance, not the level of performance you expect from a team as good or with players as good.
Has won the competition for 10 times, record 10 times,
record extending 10 times. So that's not what you should expect from them. But that is not to say that it was their worst. This is not the worst I've ever seen them play.
Okay.
It's just that they came up against a better and more determined opponent on the night.
More determined.
And they have to wake up. I said it here, they have to actually that wake-up call has to be heeded, and they have to do very, very well against Zambia to stand any chance of getting it.
They underestimated the
Malawians, debutants at the World Cup. And coming into the game, like I said, this is their first ever WAFCON participation. And coming into the game, 5 games, 4 losses. They hadn't even scored a goal in such a long time, and they then end up scoring 3 against people who are supposedly
the super champions.
Yes, so people who are supposedly, and the Black Prince of Ghana beat them.
Well. And let's stay with your word. Wake up call. Let's stay with that.
So
and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Talking about 6 to 6 as a very young age. I think before now, the football usually have what they call the football age. So which age is a football age? And talking about
for Baresi?
Yes.
No, I don't think you can do football aging. You can't do that in Europe because from the moment you're born, before you even choose to be a footballer, your documents are already all over the place.
Whoa.
So you cannot really falsify.
All right, that does it for Sports Update. Thank you, Tony, for being there. Okay, your name is Anthony. But you're Tony. Yes, it's possible.
Have a beautiful
The other one says her name is Frafra. She prefers Frafra to Francisca. So, we'll see you next week.
Yes, and then before next week, tomorrow,
have a nice weekend.
Sports Track, and then
see you in August.
Oh yes, August.
Okay, that's true. Today is the last day. All right, viewer, stand by. We'll come back with another issue for you. Thank you. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta State government invites business leaders, global investors, policy makers, and industry captains to the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, themed Harnessing Our Strengths and Unlocking Our Potentials. Chief guest of honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Keynote speaker, Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON. Guest speaker, renowned scholar, Professor Patrick Lumumba. Chairman of the occasion, Engineer Austin Avuru. Other distinguished local and international participants will also be in attendance. Date, August 3 to 5, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. daily. Venue, Dome Event Center, Asaba. Chief host, His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Obrewori, Governor, Delta State. Announcer, Dr. Kingsley Emu, Secretary to Delta State Government and Chairman Planning Committee.
Hello, my name is Sheriff Obrewori, the Governor of Delta State. I have the pleasure to invite you to Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, taking place in Asaba from August 3rd to 5th, 2026. Over 40 prospective investors from Brazil and China, policymakers, business leaders, and international development partners are expected at this summit. It is an opportunity to connect your business ideas with capital, foster strategic partnerships, and take your business to a new level of growth and expansion. This government believes strongly in the economic development model that is led by the private sector. Hence, we have put in place investor-friendly policies that encourage private investors, support business growth, and foster massive industrialization of our state. With Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON, as keynote speaker, and Professor Patrick Lumumba as guest speaker, the summit promises to be an exciting and rewarding time for all participants. So, join us and be part of shaping the next chapter of Delta State's economic.
Ready to be part of one of Africa's most exciting investment gatherings? Here's how to secure your spot for the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026.
First, visit investdelta.ng and click Register Now. Next, fill in your details accurately, including your name, email address, phone number, organization, position, and industry.
Then, select the sector you're most interested in, from energy and the digital economy to agriculture, mining, tourism, transport infrastructure, and more. Also, choose the attendee category that best describes you.
Review your information carefully and submit your registration. Once it's approved, you receive a confirmation email. Be sure to save your confirmation as you will need it for accreditation and entry into the summit.
Join investors, business leaders, innovators, policymakers, and development partners at the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, happening August 3rd to 5th at the Dome Event Center, Asaba. Visit investdelta.ng today and secure your place.
Delta is ready for business. Are you?
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we go to the soft side. I hope it's going to be soft because entertainment gist and Kira is already in the studio.
Hello.
Kira, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
I like your earrings.
Thank
Very
you.
creative.
I try to make you red
so charming.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a biker's girlfriend. If you
Okay.
get the drift. I mean, that's the drift.
Yeah, it's not hard to find
imagination.
That you represent entertainment and everything. Yeah, so we don't need to introduce you anyway.
Okay. Well, quite a lot has been happening, and it's no longer news about the backlash that South African singer Tyler is currently getting. It's not as if she did anything wrong. Basically, she announced that she would want to do a Dirty December here in Nigeria, and she didn't disclose the venue. And then they came for her. You know, due to the recent xenophobic attacks on Nigerians and other Africans in South Africa, Nigerians are saying that it is not possible that a South African would want to benefit from Nigerians by coming here to do a show, make Nigerians buy her ticket, and then she didn't use her platform to, talk about the attacks on Africans or even Nigerians.
Yes.
So currently, she has not said anything about it, but currently the backlash she's getting right now is that the show will not hold. Celebrities are trying to boycott this concert.
Even before plans.
Even before, even if, with her team, they may be going through, the plans because, soup go sweet, you go know how from early morning, you go know how you go sweet. But then Nigerians are saying that this would not hold in Nigeria. Not in a country where you are killing our
people.
People over there in your own country. So, and then celebrities are actually on ground for this particular boycott. They're trying to boycott it with the hashtag of no concert for Tyler. And then, moving on from that, Natasha, I don't know if you know.
Yes,
No, before you move, sorry.
Yes.
It's the same story.
Okay.
So she called out the government and said because R.I. Star and her team were denied visa to perform in South Africa. So she's saying that we should also reciprocate.
Yeah.
With the
Denial
same
for denial.
energy for energy.
Oh my.
Or half for
like Perez said, madness must match madness.
Madness versus madness.
Yeah.
If you say they're mad, we should say they're mad past.
Exactly.
I think Nigerians are actually we
are
go
not waking up.
extreme. When we love you extremely. Even when you're doing something bad, you're our favorite. But when we hate you or dislike you,
or when we want to
show you, this same thing happened when South Africans wanted to show Nigerians that they are boss by sending us doing they didn't pay for advance. I'm not going to call it name, but it's a delivery. It's let's just say
a courier.
Service. A courier service. Yes, let's just say it like that. And they were trying to put confusion into the people, the drivers in Nigeria. And Nigeria said, you know what? We're going to show you how it is done.
Okay.
To the extent that they had to leave the country. Say we don't get. I'm not sure say we really get work for this country because
we get.
I mean, after our official job, it is bus for both.
Now, there are two things I need to say quickly.
Okay.
Could this be a publicity stunt by Tyler's team, given that this is coming amidst this xenophobia thing? Everybody's talking about it because I didn't know her before, frankly.
You didn't know?
I didn't know her before.
Make me square, make me water.
No, I don't know her. I know that lots of Nigerians may not even know her. So anything like that, even talking about this, would make the person
more popular.
Secondly, could it be why the South African envoy in Nigeria is seeming for peace, seeing that people are taking this to the extreme? Yeah, you know that has happened lately.
Yes.
Reminding us of the past. And can we fall in love again?
No, we cannot.
How? Not just now.
No.
Even if that has to happen, not right now.
We definitely cannot. Yes. I don't want to fall in love again.
Not now.
We're going to be in your country. Because we bought a maid back and we're not going back.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not going back. So anyway, the thing is, I believe that when she said that the venue is undisclosed, I saw it as maybe a stunt to withhold the information. She's deliberately doing that so that by the time she would announce it, I mean, if you heard about the concert, we just heard about it. By the time she probably announced it in November or October or September, it will be like refreshing your memory on the concert happening.
Yes.
But I don't think she actually saw this backlash coming because she already said this last year that she would want to. 2025, it was basically she did exclusively Asia for her tour. Okay. So this year, she said it last year that she would like to tour African countries this year and also European countries as well this year. So, I mean, that was way before the whole xenophobic attack. Although this xenophobic issue is not now. It's happened years before.
It's often and again.
It comes and goes.
You know, this was a huge storm this time around.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, you know, explosive this time around.
I think so. I think so.
And, you know, recently, they also just have a record of a Nigerian man being killed by the South African, you know, security officers. And so this
tortured
is really,
to death.
Tortured to death. So why should you have to torture an armless citizen or a armless person instead of taking, you know, the law the way you're supposed to take it or arrest the person accurately?
I have no idea why they did that. Let's leave South Africans and enter the Okoye's mansion. They are fighting again.
Okay. The Okoye brothers.
Will not kill me.
The P is not square. It's P minus now. It's not square.
Nice, I didn't say that. Peter and Paul. Okay, so recently Peter made a statement. Not really a statement. He just posted something about his kids having fun in Paris, and that he is now trying to buy or consider buying a property in Paris because his kids are now fluent in French. Okay. And then one over-sabi person now said, can they speak Igbo too? Peter Okoye, you just have left that.
Yeah,
that's question.
You have just been calm.
You would have just overlooked it. All the times I would be like, send me money, you don't see it. He now went to go and see the one and answered that our indigenous language, you know, no help anybody. And then they came for him.
Who language help?
You know, Igbo men have this pride. We have this pride in our culture. I think it's only in Igbo. I don't know, but in Nigeria, most cultures bow to greet. But Igbos, they say, Ezamonye. They don't in my if you come to my house, I'm king in my house. If I come to your house, you are king. So don't expect me to come and bow for you. So he now said that, and then they trolled the heck out of him.
And they said he hates Igbo.
Yes, they said he hates Igbo, that he also sang with Igbo languages while also infusing other languages like Yoruba and profiting from it as well. Why would he now come and say that Igbo indigenous languages is not important? Then his brother now came out to say, nobody asked him, say, I'm proudly Igbo. 100%.
Hey, without the culture.
Without me. I am a nobody without the culture. There is no me without Igbo. I don't know who sent it, but the brother said he takes up on every occasion to maybe backstab him or And I think that's what has been going on, if you ask me.
They took advantage of this situation to also...
He took advantage. No, I think he took advantage. Peter went to the extent to even reveal why they broke up. You know, in a 10 minutes video that he titled Part 1. I said, okay.
So there's going to be a part 2.
There's going to be a part 2.
All right. The gist today is interesting. So
yes,
it's fun and everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kira, for today.
Thank you.
We hope to see you the other side of the week, the other side of the month.
Absolutely. It's actually my month.
Which one is your month? August.
Which
all right. We'll get to know. We'll get to know. All right, you are stand by. When we come back, we continue with Morning Dew. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta State government invites business leaders, global investors, policymakers, and industry captains to the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, themed Harnessing Our Strengths and Unlocking Our Potentials. Chief guest of honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Keynote speaker, Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON. Guest speaker, renowned scholar, Professor Patrick Lumumba. Chairman of the occasion, Engineer Austin Avuru. Other distinguished local and international participants will also be in attendance. Date, August 3 to 5, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. daily. Venue, Dome Event Center, Asaba. Chief host, His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Obrewori, Governor, Delta State. Announcer, Dr. Kingsley Emu, Secretary to Delta State Government and Chairman Planning Committee.
Hello, my name is Sheriff Obrewori, the governor of Delta State. I have the pleasure to invite you to Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, taking place in Asaba from August 3rd to 5th, 2026. Over 40 prospective investors from Brazil and China, policymakers, business leaders, and international development partners are expected at this summit. It is an opportunity to connect your business ideas and expansion. This government believes we have put in place investor-friendly policies that foster massive industrialization of our state, with Dr. Ngozi Okojo-Iweala, GCON, as keynote speaker, and Professor Patrick Lulumba as guest speaker. The summit promises to be an exciting and rewarding time for all participants. So, join us and be part of shaping the next chapter of Delta State's economic.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're shifting conversation because we have in the studio a lady who has her hands in so many puddings, talking about Lady Ejiro Umukoro, policy advocate / implementation advocate.
Can you
start by telling us about yourself?
Exactly.
Let's start from there.
Essentially, I am somebody who believes in the Nigerian dream.
Okay.
I have a Nigerian vision. And in that Nigerian vision, I believe that every single one of us are important actors. Yeah. And when I say actors, it's not that we're trying to pretend. We're saying that we are such a significant contributors to whatever it is that we're going to create the reality we want. People are driving cars today because somebody thought that why should we be using horses to ride far distances? Somebody decided that, oh, for goodness sake, what does the world look like outside of this environment? And then they decided that we're going to have something called NASA. And NASA took us to the moon for the first time in the 70s.
Okay.
Somebody decided, oh, wow, what would it make the journey to via sea be exciting and rewarding? Let's build ships. Let's not use rafters and canoes anymore. Let's enjoy the cruise. And that's what we're talking about.
So what's your dream?
The Nigerian dream is...
No, your own dream.
My own dream. I think I'm fulfilling my purpose right here, the way I have
we want
designed
to know the purpose,
to do that.
Because you talked about somebody who thought of building a ship, somebody who thought of going to the moon.
I manifested a fantastic book called Distortion that has not only been approved by the Delta State Ministry of Education as a literature text for students, it has also galvanized, right, the advocacy for the protection of human rights.
Okay.
I am an advocate for that. And that's why the case of Eluzino Ogige that recently happened, I was the one lady who broke the entire investigative story on that lady.
Okay.
And I was so happy that today, 8 years later, justice is served. The two men are hung. As a matter of fact, one of the scenes I played in my book, Distortion, was to show that Abu, who was an educated person, who now forgot why he went to school and engaged in that act, was actually hung. So it was like I already predicted.
You prophesied.
Yes, that these guys, whoever engage in ritual killing, human rights abuses, they deserve instant, immediate, relentless justice. And if it's by death, by hanging, I don't care how anybody who agrees or disagrees with that. Those guys were evil. We need all these kind of abominations out of our society as a final strong lesson.
Okay, we're here to talk about the Delta Economic Summit and to look at the prospects. The summit, of course, we're talking about Economic and Investment Summit, and it will be happening over a period of 3 days from August 3rd to 5th. That's next Monday to Wednesday. So we're just 2 days away from this, this great event. We saw the governor, of course, he's still inviting people, you know, talking about how that this is what Delta State has been waiting for all these years, and that it brings his administration to a climax. Do you agree?
A few years back, I uncovered the fact that Delta State has over 23 moribund industries.
Okay.
23. Alaja Steel. The Warri Port is a sitting dock. We had the incident of the Anioma, what do you call this place? Where do you have this factory? The name, textile mills. Textile mills. It had a court case, which we know we shouldn't go into because of the whatever that went in.
Yes.
But there can be another textile mill in Delta State.
Okay.
We're close to Onitsha. Where is that synergy for a trading center like Onitsha, for God's sake? We have the waterbed in Onitsha, the River Niger, that connects to all the tributaries around the entire Nigerian map. We don't explore that. Tourism in Delta State should have been like the #1 go-to industry that should be thriving.
Okay.
How do you, I'm happy that they are bringing this economic summit, and I'm challenging my dear beloved governor. I want you to take these people you're bringing to the economic summit, take them to Opanam, the sister city of Asaba. I was in Opanam yesterday, and in fact, what do you call this part of Delta? Delta North.
No, Oshimili North.
Oshimili North, that's the word properly. Oshimili North it's not as developed as we are seeing what is happening in Oshimili South.
That's right.
And all of them are close to the center of power. So are we saying that this is selective development? We cannot allow this to happen. Because if you see the entire road, the erosion that is eroding people's property, you are collecting taxes from us, land levies here, left, right, and center. These are the things we're talking about. So when we talk about development, we're also talking about...
That's what we're talking about, economic summit.
Exactly.
Stay on it.
Okay. No, that's what we're saying. The economic summit, you asked me a question. I'm responding to her question. Is it worth celebrating?
Okay.
There are many summits Delta State have had. All of these summits, they just come, they clap their hands. It's a PR campaign machinery. It does not do anything afterwards. We have the IPP, the entire government house and this axis, as well as the new secretariat, right? And a bit of the old secretariat. All of them are powered with an IPP. We have gas in Otu Jeremy flowing day and night. That's Delta Central. We have in Ndokwa flowing day and night. What are we talking about? We have gas that we're wasting away. As we speak, even during Buhari's era, what did they do with the gas that are coming in from the Niger Delta? They took it all the way. They're piping them all the way to Niger. And then there's one coming into Morocco as well. So we're serving North Africa that does not associate with us as Africans. North Africans don't see us as
commercial
Africans.
Purposes?
Commercial purposes, what is the impact to us here in the Niger Delta? Delta State gets at least 84 billion FAC, federal allocation from the federal government. I am not even adding the other internally generated revenue. By the time you put all of that together and all the blessings that we have, in a month, Delta gets over 200 billion naira. In a state that has 200 billion naira, with barely about maybe 15 million people living in Delta State, for goodness sake. Share that money every month. So in a year, we have like how many trillions of naira that comes into the Delta State pocket? We do not resemble a country or a state for that matter that looks like we have so much. Seychelles that you all know. Cape Verde that you all know. We are the same size as this country. That is a small country. Delta is a country. We are a nationhood of 7 key ethnic groups. Where is the evidence of that? It's not enough to build what you call these things.
So now let's come to the economic summit. What is your expectation from the economic summit?
For me, the economic summit should be not about words.
What are the things
you're saying you're bringing Chinese experts, you're bringing
from Brazil.
From Brazil.
Yes,
okay.
Countries.
Brazil is a country that doesn't even like Africans, as a matter of fact. They have these issues with us.
Yeah, they have issues with color.
So I'm like, if we're even creating partnership, in the first place, you don't go to a country that does not even regard you as a people. That is one thing. So I have a problem with even the process of how they were doing this engagement. But if they, in their own wisdom, have decided that, okay, we have a few persons who we think we can trust. The question is, who are these investors that are coming in from Brazil? What are they coming to invest in Delta State? Is it the Alaja steel mill that has been decapitated and done with, I don't know, is it our Nigerian Warri ports? Or is it the cocoa ports?
No, but the Alaja steel is a federal government...
we know, even if it's a federal government thing...
Ajaokuta has just been revamped, from what I hear. So
no, that is just comments. That's just comments. We have not seen any evidence to portray that shows that, yes, this is going to happen. Ajaokuta has been resurrected 1 million times, and he died 1 million times. So that's a different conversation altogether. We're talking here about the fact that, one, our Warri port, for example, we know we don't have that kind of deep sea port that Lagos has. But at the same time, we're saying, how can we maximize the port? What can we do with regards to the dredging of it as well in that context and making it a very important port? The Calabar port is a big port in right here in eastern part of Nigeria, but you don't see them developing it. People have abandoned a good port as good as Calabar, and we're saying that you see this axis Delta is such a strategic center point. 6 hours to Abuja, that's northern Nigeria. 6 hours to to Lagos. 6 hours, that's western Nigeria. 6 hours to the farther part of the east. Delta is such a significant geopolitical position center that we are not maximizing all of that. So on that, that's on the one hand. Then we have paper mills that are not functioning. We don't have a single paper mill in Nigeria. All the publishers, our authors, our libraries are suffering. Delta State has about 27 libraries or thereabout. But if you go to these libraries, they're not as functional as they should be. And that is a development aspect that needs proper funding and direct interest by the state government. The state government should even be funding the availability of books for our children. Our children in Delta State should not be buying books. As a matter of fact, this is a policy-driven conversation now. The Delta State government should today, at this economic summit next week, should be saying that going forward, the Delta State is going to create an authorship publishing grants to recognize publishers and authors who will be providing the proper content for the development of our children so that they have access to books. Parents are complaining that they don't have money to buy books, let alone the fees for school fees. Look around our environment now. What is happening to real estate in Delta State? What is happening is a situation where external persons who are not Delta-based are coming to siphon our lands, as it were.
They come to snatch the land.
That's why I use the word siphoning. Because they are taking away our resources. Our farmlands are being hijacked and they are turning them into plazas. If everywhere become a plaza, where will our farmlands be?
Not even plaza, they are reselling. They are reselling.
I know they are reselling, but even in reselling, the process of the reselling is also problematic. We've seen a lot of court cases.
But we're complaining about the fact that we don't have enough houses to, and
the housing deficit is a problem. 60,000 civil servants don't even have housing, their own housing catered to. That's 60,000 civil servants on the one hand. Then we're also talking about so that they do their job better. But we've seen that often when you even take care of the civil servants, they are the same people who will not make the ministries work.
Hey, Jiro, as you are talking, you come away as an activist on the one hand, and on the other hand, you come away as an opposition.
No, don't use that word. Don't use that word. I would react. I am going to react strongly to that because I don't do opposition. One of the things I've done for Delta State.
Okay, wait.
People know me as that woman who has marketed Delta State a lot.
Let's leave you at opposition now. Sorry, at activists.
Don't even use the word activists. We are Delta people who are invested in Delta State and we want the progress of Delta State and we deserve it.
Now, coming to our issue, Economic Summit. What is your stake in this? Are you going to attend, and what would you like to happen at the summit? Let's stay.
It's all part of the topic. Nobody has strayed here. And if we want to have a good conversation, let's have it. If we want to address an issue, let's talk about them. Let's not be finessing. This is not the era for finessing. There's poverty in the land. And if there's poverty in the land, we have hordes of young people. Have you been to what do you call this, the Coca? And see the hordes of young people.
And those people are not Delta.
Exactly. But they are Nigerians.
Under the bridge.
And they chose Delta.
And they are in Delta.
No, it's not that they chose Delta. No. They did not choose Delta.
What happened?
Their own cities were destroyed. And many of them were sent down here. They go to Western Nigeria, they come to Eastern Nigeria, they come to Southern Nigeria. So let us be honest about the migration that is happening. Now, these are displaced children. We have come to a situation where our governments across Nigeria are not taking insecurity issues strongly. They are not exercising the political way. So one of the economic summits is that you want to ensure that even the city you are inviting investors to come in is also safe. It's not a PR machine. It's not because people can investigate and do their independent assessment of how safe is Delta State. So those hordes of young people, they need to be engaged. Once people can take care of their hunger, I can guarantee you, often, most of the time, there is peace in an environment. So we need to address the growing gap of young people who are unemployed, who are not engaged, who have not, homeless, they are not even schooled. So they don't even have the proper mindset in how to deal with the reality of life. Do you get it? So they need to be reoriented into the Delta society and how to do it better. That's a security issue we need to tackle. Then for those investors that are coming in, There are so much for Delta State to do. I mentioned tourism. Tourism is a big deal for us.
Yes.
Now, the transportation industry in Delta State is also a big space to be tapped into.
Okay.
We need, I am happy the governor is doing all the flyovers, but what we also now need right now is real good road network all over Delta State. As a matter of fact, it is a disgrace that up till this time, we're still talking about building road around Delta State after 15 years of democratic governance in Delta State, and the amount of money that has come to the state. At this point in time, we should be having what is called the Delta's own industrialization upsurge. What do I mean? There are companies, we are in the age of AI and robotics. I don't know of any state in Nigeria where they are already driving that conversation, where we are beginning to say, look, AI is happening, even though some of us are also anti-AI in a certain way, because we know it takes a lot to run the database, the data machinery for AI data centers. We know that because it's going to consume on the one hand. But at the same time, we're also saying, is Delta State waking up to the reality that whether we like it or not, our children are being engaged in the technological spaces? What are they doing to industrialize and close that knowledge gap? Because right now, we live in what is called the knowledge gap era, the knowledge era. And if we're not tapping into that, anybody we know get sense, anybody we know if you think, anybody we know go school in the sense of understanding how to read. Even when AI do give you something to do, if you don't know how to use it, you'll be olodo. So we want to stop all this olodo uprising that is up and down. We need sensible people to be here. So that's on the other hand.
You are full of amenities. You are full of amenities. Let's stay at this our summit.
Because
I want you to tap
security. That's a very critical aspect.
Let us break that down.
What can Delta do to make Delta the agro hub for not just this part of the country, but for the world?
It's one of the thematic areas.
I am so happy you brought it up because food is a nation.
That's right.
Without food, we will not survive. We see a pattern that is happening because one, we have left our agricultural development. That's part of the industrialization we're talking about. So we need an industrialized agricultural center in Delta State. We need to drive that. From Ogwashuku to Isoko land. In fact, my own community in Olomoro, right? We have the highest number of pipelines running through my community, which means that entire land, we cannot use it to farm. What are the compensations for Olomoro people, or the Iri people, or the people from Otujeremi, or Ndokwa axis, where because of all of this that is happening, they cannot use their farmlands. Oil spills are destroying these farmlands, so we need to tackle that. When it comes to the agro development, we have so many students graduating from schools, but which university in Delta State can you tell that has an agricultural department that is actually serving the purpose of producing agricultural products in the university? Not one. Go to all the universities in Delta State. So already we have fake intellectuals in our citadels of learning who have no business carrying PhDs and parading all those PhDs. Because when you have a PhD, it means that you are going to solve a problem. But what you have a PhD in agriculture and our universities are not agricultural hub, we've got a problem. That's another gap. Then two, our small farmers, they need all the support they can get. Delta State has the money to give grants. It does not have to be BOI. It does not. Yes, it does not have to be any of them. But you have to get the right people who are interested in farming. There are some people who are not interested in farming. Don't give it to them. They will come do Photoshop and pose, and then it ends there.
So we need to identify the real farmers.
Good. Identify the real farmers. Then what are our significant cash crop and everyday products that we eat in Delta State? What are our cash crop? Once we can identify this cash crop, what we do is this. For Chinese people, these guys understand something. If you've been to China, one of the things you will find remarkable about China is that every city is identified with a unique set of skills. So if, for example, you are the best people when it comes to AI chips, there's an industry, a complete community for that purpose. If you've been to India, they have a similar thing. I mean, I was amazed where an entire city known as Gurgaon, right? The entire Gurgaon city has all the Silicon Valley companies. We don't have that in Nigeria. Instead, the Silicon Valleys that came, they also left here, and then they left their data centers here. So we are now a dumping ground where people use us to revive their own economy, feed their economy, give prosperity to their people. The money leaves this country. So we want a situation where the outflows of our economic development, both our raw resources and raw material, the value also remains within Nigeria and not taken out. A situation where we have cocoa, for example. Cocoa is an important export. Absolutely. How do we export a kilogram of cocoa, for example, for a kilogram of cocoa for maybe 1,000 naira? I'm just giving that as an example because they say raw materials are supposed to be cheap. Then we who are in sweets, for example, when we reproduce this, we repackage it and sell it to you as chocolate in beautiful packages. You will now buy it in $25 as against 1,000 for an entire kilogram of a bag of cocoa. So we need to look at our economic analysis, our economic engagement, and how we are negotiating our powers away. Because what we've been doing to Africa and Nigeria in particular is that we have been selling our souls to other countries who come here. And if we are not careful, what is happening is this. When we open doors like this to these guys, they come into Nigeria, they're smarter. They're intelligence gatherer. They're data collectors. When they come, they collect this stuff. And when they come, they bring their people who also take this charge of these spaces. Our people being engaged even in the entire economic value chain. Employment is also key when we are negotiating this. Then we now look at bilateral exchanges. What are the kind of bilateral exchange should the Delta State government be having with these guys? It needs to also be transparent. And the Delta State needs to also be accountable. The Delta State should have done by this time a data collection, I expect, especially from the office of the SSG, to say, oh, these are what we have, these are our data, and this is our collation, and this is what we have found from the Delta people. The government that is disconnected from a people eventually will implode within itself because you don't take the people along. So this is beyond whatever party it is. This is about Delta, this is about us, and we need to protect what we have.
Now, you appear to show so much concern, and I know you're kind of person, you have access to some government officials. Let's see, how many of these are commissioners in these thematic areas you have mentioned? Have you interfaced with on a personal basis to sell some of these ideas?
Exactly.
When the late commissioner, her name just went off my head now, who was in charge of industries, I had a conversation with her. And that was when I raised the issue of the 23 moribund industries in Delta State. We need textile mills in Delta State, where a lot of fashion, they thrive for Delta State. Let us have a textile mill in Delta State. When I spoke with the madam, she said, oh, by all means, I will speak to the governor. And the governor, then that was Udwan, as well as Okowa. So into government, I have proposed this idea of our moribund industry. We have the gas plant there. The gas plant is just sitting down there. It's not doing things for us. Delta State should not be buying gas more than 100 naira per.
And we are even flaring some of the gas.
Wasting it all away. Europe don't throw that away. There's a bit of flaring, but not wasted to the degree that we have.
I learned that the infrastructure is too much expensive.
No, we have 3 refineries in Delta State. Don't get. They pay money for what's that one? Turn around. They've wasted money. So we know we can do it. It's just that the civil service itself that are in charge of that industry and those who are given the responsibility are the saboteurs of that process. That's not even not pretend about it.
And they are benefiting from it?
Of course, that's why they're saboteurs. So what we are looking at is we want to see a situation where our industries are revived. Delta needs to be an industrial hub. It's not negotiable, but it needs to be done properly. Our fiscal policy, our development policies itself, they should be grounded in the originalness of our people. Fit it to us. Don't go and import an idea from one place in God knows where and then come and impose it on us. No, take time and do the study. People like us are researchers. We are policy advocates. I'm a policy fellow known for what I do. Chatham House, Agora policy. I do my work. So you get people like us who understand what it is to drive policy and development communications. It's not PR. It's not social media. This is deeper than that. Then we collate all of this research data and we itemize our thematic concerns and find the solutions to them and create a proper framework and architecture that would address these things. To rule Delta State, as it were, it's moi. It is not difficult, but we need the political will and the commitment and love for Delta State. We need to show we love Delta State. And how do you show you love Delta State? Good roads. We have a functional airport. Let's give it up for our Delta. We have a functional airport. We need that airport to now be better. Osubi Airport needs to be better than what it is. It needs to be better than that. And they need to work on that. Then the roads, just imagine that we have good roads, right? And then trains. We need multiple ways
trains,
of transportation. Then waterways. Our communities are water connected. We're connected to the Atlantic Ocean, the Oceania. We're connected to all of these water bodies. Yes. We need to make sure that our water bodies are functional and are driving. Do you know how much we help people in Baramatu? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Beautiful communities like this, on their own, they will develop. They won't want to come to the city. What is happening in our city, and we need a regulation to manage this house rent matter. Because what is now happening is that Nigerians are now thinking that the next oil, in their mind, though, they don't know that knowledge is the next oil. But they think that having properties left, right, and center is the next oil. And what they are doing is they are now giving exorbitant prices. They don't make sense. How does somebody who earns 70 naira a month, how do you want that person to pay for a 3 million one bedroom, 2 million self-contained? I mean, it's outrageous.
Yeah. So it's happening.
It has to stop. We need to stop this situation where people just exploitatively destroy our economy.
How do we stop it?
Because that is fake inflation.
How do we stop it?
Now let's come back to our meet. I asked a question in the beginning. The summit is coming. Economic summit is coming up in 3 days' time or 2 days' time. Are you going to attend? And what do you expect to see at the summit?
It just happened that I am in Delta at the moment. I didn't even know about the economic summit on the one hand. It's just when I got here, I got to know about it. It's a 50-50 thing. I think it's open registration. So I would see if I can decide, or I call up the SSG and say, I just saw your stuff. Have fun now. I would like to come. And then I walk in there and do what I want to do, see what's happening, understand what's going to happen. And then our Madam Okonjo Iweala, I love this woman, but, we cannot have an Okonjo Iweala in trade, the World Trade Center, right? And Delta State, we are not...
we're not benefiting from it.
Yes, trade organization. Thank you for that. And not have trade happening as a hub. I mean, the East is also a trading point. These two conglomerates, they are such a huge space for us to tap into the trading industry. China is a trading hub of all sorts. So Delta State should be thinking that they should know the strength of each of our communities. If you are Ishekiri, if you are Ijo, if you are Nyoma, if you are Ika, if you are Isoko, if you are Irubu. Okay, what do all of these places have as their strength? Let's make industries out of these individual places. If fish farming is the best of this community, give them a fish farming industrialization.
Fantastic.
If farming is these people's best in terms of cassava and gari, so that gari will flood everywhere and drop the inflation that is happening. Give them that machinery, give them that industrialization. If the making of paper mill, so that books are affordable all over Nigeria and we stop importing from India, because some of us import from India just to publish our books and make it available and manageable, affordable.
So you're saying that the test of this Delta Economic and Investment Summit 2026 is how our local communities are able to feel the impact
Absolutely.
afterwards.
It's non-negotiable. If our communities are not feeling this impact in the next 3-6 months, then this particular economic summit was just for show, it was just for PR, and then it's empty.
All right, you have heard from Ejiro. She's an advocate indeed. And of course, her passion is how that we can effect development in our environment, development that is domesticated with the people.
Absolutely.
Exploiting the potentials of the people, their culture, and their energy to advance our spaces. Thank you for coming, Ejiro. I like your hat, by the way.
It's my signature. Thank you.
All right, viewer.
And I love your
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll be back with other conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta State government invites business leaders, global investors, policy makers, and industry captains to the Delta State Economic and Chief Guest of Honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Keynote speaker, Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, GCON. Guest speaker, renowned scholar, Professor Patrick Lumumba. Chairman of the occasion, Engineer Austin Avoru. other distinguished local and international participants will also be in attendance. Date August 3 to 5, 2026. Time 10 a.m. daily. Venue Dome Event Center, Asaba. Chief host His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Obrewori, Governor Delta State. Announcer Dr. Kingsley Emu, Secretary to Delta State Government and Chairman Planning Committee.
Hello, my name is Sheriff Obrewori, the Governor of Delta State. I have the pleasure to invite you to Delta State Economic and Investment Summit 2026, taking place in Asaba from August 3rd to 5th, 2026. Over 40 prospective investors from Brazil and China, policymakers, business leaders, and international development partners are expected at this summit. It is an opportunity to connect your business ideas with capital, foster strategic partnerships, and take your business to a new level of growth and expansion. This government believes strongly in the economic development model that is led by the private sector. Hence, we have put in place investor-friendly policies that encourage private investors, support business growth, and foster massive industrialization of our state. With Dr. Ngozi Okojo-Iweala GCON as keynote speaker and Professor Patrick Lulumba as guest speaker, the summit promises to be an exciting and rewarding time for all participants. So, join us and be part of shaping the next chapter of Delta State's economic.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: The Broadcast Media as a Democratic Catalyst, Shaping Public Trust and Electoral Credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheun Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, and Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Boko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are still advancing in our conversation. Sometime on this platform, we brought a conversation round about the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. And we had a media personality, even the convener of the events, Ruki Onoro, in the studio. He's already here again, and of course, this time he's set for business. Yeah. His heart tells the story.
And even the t-shirt.
The t-shirt, branded t-shirt, and all that.
Thank
so,
you.
Ruki, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good morning to you.
Yeah. I thought by now you'll be slimmer because of the stress of preparation. Is it that things are easier this time?
No, we're used to it.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, it's never easy when you're trying to do something this noble.
Okay.
I mean, you can see that even at the state level, planning an economic summit, you can see the stresses in the faces of the organizers, the primary organizers.
We're expected to see the same stress on your face.
Like I said, I'm used to it.
Okay.
been through fire and brimstone. So
and coming out to reach fulfillment. Talking about the program, of course, is on the 14th of August, and we're just about 2 weeks away from it. Can you give us an update between when you were here last and now? What has happened?
What has happened?
All right, thank you. First off, I'd like to always say thank you to Dott Television. Dott Television. You guys are really doing fantastically well. Thank you for having me here. Thank you to Governor Sheriff for the opportunity to, come up with this sort of noble initiative. Thank you to the Commissioner for Information. Now, why do I say thank you all the time? It's because without these people, we won't be here.
Yeah.
Okay. We had to get the go-ahead to do what we're doing. And thankfully so, it's been beautiful all the way. 14 days to go. A lot has happened since I was here. I think the last time I was here, we had about 30 days or more to go.
30.
And as of today, we could see, or we can see, a lot more interest in what we're doing. Okay. A lot more registrations. We have a portal where we monitor those who are expecting. As the last time I was here, we're somewhere around 200 now. We are over 600.
Fantastic.
On the portal,
Okay.
And
200% increase.
And confirmation of all the guest speakers, even till this morning, because some of the guests, they're quite busy with their lives and what they do. For instance, our keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye, it's going to be in Oshun. For Oshun election the next day.
Yes.
But we are bringing him here and finding a way to take him to Oshun.
Definitely.
It could be via abracadabra, but we already got it sorted.
Whatever way it will happen.
We have to ensure that all of that is. Even to this morning, Agatha Amata, who had a very luxurious wedding over the weekend, the daughter got married to
congratulations.
a Canadian, somebody who's abroad. And they had a wedding in Lagos. Over 40 white people were in Lagos for that wedding.
Awesome.
And till this morning, we're just trying to dot the I's and cross the T's with her as well. Ayomaro essay, the same challenge too. Because we all are broadcasters.
Yes.
You run your shows. They also do their
tight
shows.
Schedule. Sure.
Tight schedule this period. And this is the period for electioneering. Elections will begin, or campaigns will begin officially 19 or so. Yeah. Of August.
Yes.
So there's a lot to...
17th
of August, and we're having our conference on the 14th. So they're really pretty much engaged, but we've been able to tidy their logistics, and I'm here to tell Deltans they will be in town for that conference. Nobody's speaking virtually, and that's to also let practitioners, media professionals, I like to use the word practitioners and professionals because they are two different people.
Of course.
And we
Can you tell us about the difference?
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, well, I could just give you a hint. Now, the practitioners, you and myself, we are broadcast media or media practitioners. Why? Because we practice this thing that we're doing. We come here every day. All right. We show up on radio shows, on television shows, like the Morning Dew now. You have to be a practitioner to be here in front of the camera. All right. Now we have the professionals who necessarily don't need to practice before the camera.
Okay.
The professional lecturer who is teaching mass communication. All right. The professor of journalism. These are media professionals. All right. They are not practitioners. I believe I've been able to give media 101.
So are you a practitioner or professional?
But
I'm a professional.
Among practitioners.
I'm a practitioner.
All right. Before we continue with the conversation, because I'm going to ask you what we should be expecting this year. Now, last year, we have a little clip of what transpired last year, which we'll play back, for our viewers to, just have a taste or a bite of what happened. And then, of course, we ask you what we're expecting. So let's watch that.
The 2025 Delta Broadcast Media Conference happening at Unity Hall here in Government House, the capital city, Asaba, Delta State. My name is Fresh Prince. I'm your red carpet host. And this is an epoch-making event in a landmark move to transform the broadcast industry in Delta State. The first of its kind Delta Broadcast Media Conference is happening in Delta State.
Let us use our platforms to raise awareness about environmental issues and encourage sustainable initiatives.
Well, and by the grace of God, we will take it a notch higher to be able to meet them where it pinches.
Is to thrive within a certain space, and the space needs to aid creativity. So, accountable. If you don't know the law where you work in the industry, you are going to set yourself up for what? Failure.
I commend the organizers for this initiative and urge all stakeholders, media professionals, policymakers, and citizens to collaborate in harnessing the power of broadcasting.
Yes, you're welcome back. That was just a clip of what transpired last year at the Delta. That was the maiden edition of the Delta Broadcast Media Conference. Looking at that, before we ask what we're expecting, I didn't see the governor in the clip.
All right, the governor
He was not in attendance.
The governor was represented by the Commissioner for Information.
Is it coming this year?
We
And
have
what are
sent
we
our
expecting?
invitation, so you get to know on the day that I send in, or maybe a day before if it's not going to be there physically.
Okay.
But we hope there's going to be there physically because it's going to be in town, because there's a state function the next day that
Okay.
concerns his personal life. So most likely he's going to be in town and he's going to be around for it. We also had the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly represented by
The
majority leader and the chairman House Committee on Media. In the person of Engineer Emeka Obi. So it was a full house. You could see the color of, we tried to make it look as media oriented as possible.
That's right.
You know, the beauty, when you step into the Unity Hall, in fact, there was a clip that had the representative of the governor saying he's never seen the Unity Hall that beautiful.
Okay.
We took out the time because we are media people. We don't just want to have a shabby conference, you know. So when you step into, just from the hallway, you would feel like this is another place.
It's another arena.
It speaks volume about the context of what we're trying to do.
Okay.
You know, give the excellence that media should carry here in Delta State. We're tired of seeing media houses not living up to today's expectation and just falling short of excellence. We don't want to have that in our media space anymore. You know, we want to see that media houses they are excellent in their delivery. Like, for example, in Dott TV, I like the excellence that I see. It's what I'm familiar with.
Thank
and
you.
that's what we're trying to push. We don't want to go to media houses where the walls and the frame looks very wretched.
Media houses, they're almost collapsing. We don't want
We don't want that.
anymore.
We don't want that. You know,
But you are aware that media
extensively.
Okay.
All right. We cannot talk about media, the successes of media as an industry without laying government support beside it, because you need media to propagate what government is doing.
Yeah.
So yes, there should be media independence, but then government should find a way to be a part of it. Certainly, you cannot take out the role of government. All right, we're not saying government should give the media houses every 1 kobo or every 1 naira they have, but there's a way government will make the environment a lot more conducive. Yes, that's the right word for media owners and media and the media industry. In fact, we're hoping that by the end of this conference, we would have the very first media parley with our governor.
Okay.
We've never had it. Here
Is
in
it going
Delta
to
State.
be
A post-event activity?
Yes, it's one of the things that will be one of the success that we want to see after this media conference. You know, would be a media parley. We're just talking off camera. Governor Sheriff has never appeared before in a media house in Delta. All right, this is a perfect opportunity for us to, you know, get to
Bring him out.
Bring him out. Certainly, that would be good.
All right, talking about standards,
Yes.
please, because you talked about standards of broadcast houses. What
Yes.
about standard of or the excellence that should be seen in practitioners?
Yes.
Most of the time, journalists and other media practitioners, they don't seem to carry that air. You see somebody who dresses well to cast the news. By the time you see the person on the street, it's like, is this person? And so it's like there's a disappointment. Are we addressing that?
Yes, we will. We will. Okay. We will. In fact, we're bringing different speakers for different reasons.
Okay.
All right. And there's one of the speaker, she's actually in the panel though. We're bringing her for this course because as a media practitioner, you've got to carry yourself on the camera and off the camera as it should be. You just would not fall short of your personality just because you're off camera. And yes, we get to see that a lot here in Delta State. Media practitioners, once they're done in the front of the camera, the next place you see them is the beer parlor for some beer parlor discussions.
Are you saying that drinking beer is the problem?
Maybe, no, that's not what I said.
Or are they investigative journalists? Because you also want to be in certain places to be able to
I was just
you can go to the beer parlor and then still be decent.
No, I'm just keen to
what you said. If you find me as I am in a beer
different
parlor
places.
taking a bottle of something,
Well,
there are other different places.
Well, I was just keen to what you said.
Yes.
Right, with respect to you seeing media practitioners,
that's right.
Not really representing the profession.
Looking far
outside
way off from what they are.
And I think is a mindset problem.
Okay.
That in itself is a mindset problem. All right, because I remember when I started my media career here in Delta, I was working in a media house and I didn't have a car, but you would never see me on the streets trekking.
Okay.
I didn't have a car then. I was always, every day I go to work with a car drop. And my colleagues didn't know why I was doing that.
Okay.
They didn't know. In fact, one of them said to me,
having a niche for yourself.
one of them said to me,
if
you calculate all the money you've used to take drop, it would be enough to own a car.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I eventually got a car, anytime I see the guy, I just be looking at him like this. But truth be told, you've got to carry yourself the right way. And these are the things that our colleagues in other climes, they take seriously.
Yes, they understand that.
The guys in Lagos, our colleagues in Abuja, even our colleagues here in Port Harcourt, they take it seriously. But here, we just do it anyhow. And that's why the anyhowness has crept into our production.
Yes, it has also crept into how we are perceived, even by government.
Don't even go there. That's even worse.
But before you go into this, because I know I've touched a very important area you want to handle, let's talk about how media people carry themselves, and you also want to honor media people who are doing it excellently. The awards. We haven't even mentioned it.
We haven't mentioned it, really.
We cannot not mention it at this point because we're talking of media excellence even beyond the studio. So what's the criteria? Who should voters vote when they go on the website?
What are you looking out for?
What's the criteria?
Okay, so let's take it from the voting platform that we try to just add this year. The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, we're the ones organizing the Delta Broadcast Media Conference, and then we also have the Delta Broadcast Media Awards. All right, so we have a lot of things we do, but this year we decided to say, let's add the awards to it just to make it a lot more glam. And since we announced the awards, it has caught fire. Telling you, on our website already, we've had over 25,000 visits in 1 week.
Wow.
I kid you not. We opened the award categories, or we launched it on the 20th of July.
Yeah.
This is 31st of July. Over 25,000 visits to the site. And I'm like, what's going on here? This is
you sparked the fire.
So and it dawned on me that people, the industry have been craving for this.
Something like this,
It's never happened before. And I'm like, an industry that is over 35 years. I mean, we started as the broadcast industry in Delta, started with Bendel. Don't forget.
Yeah.
In fact, there are still some of those people who started from Bendel that are still within us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that.
For instance.
Okay, now I didn't go too far. So you can see that it has been an industry that's been longing for recognition. Just to be seen. And what do we do every day? We do the work of public service. The governor said, president said,
According to the governor.
According to, he said, so now we are going to say
we want to
speak for ourselves. So yes, we came out with just 5 categories.
Okay.
Just 5. You know, if we want to go to all categories, I mean, it's going to be too many.
Yeah.
So for pilot, 5 categories, and we have best TV station category, best radio station category, best on-air personality. We had to make sure that encompasses the newscaster, the presenter, provided you go on air.
Face on TV.
Face on TV and voice on radio.
Okay.
We didn't want to just, you know, we had to go with everybody in one
and TV,
one category. On-air personality of the year.
Okay.
And then we have radio program of the year. And then TV program of the year. That's 5. And you ask the criteria. Everybody is open to it. In fact, there's Dott TV and Best TV category.
Now.
There's
Morning Dew.
Morning Dew
on
Best TV program. So it's there. It's there. It's there. But a lot of people, what I observed is that some people are taking a lot more serious than the others. In fact, we had to make it a very transparent process. When you vote, you see the result online. It's what they call real-time electronic transmission of results. And as of today, we have over 8,000 votes, thereabout. I think last night I was seeing 7,800, and I'm sure it's going to be over 8,000. It keeps rising.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. In 1 week, 8,000 people have cast their votes. And this is not a governorship election.
No.
You know, so it just tells you what we're trying to do, the acceptability of it, the love that people are showing us has been massive, quite frankly. And we're just grateful to God that an idea like this is snowballing into a campaign and a movement. And we are grateful to God for the opportunity.
All right, as we begin to tail off, can you just take a minute and talk to, media broadcast practitioners on the need to be part of the show and then give it all they have?
Yeah, I think this is beautiful. I like that question because one of the challenges we've had in the course of planning this broadcast media conference from even last year has been the lack of collaboration. We've encountered media houses that we've had to literally beg their managers. Yeah, last year I remember when we're trying to come up with this and get pictures of managers and get pictures of broadcasters. Nobody should use my picture. I don't want to see my picture anywhere. At the end of the day, when we had a great show, they were the ones snapping pictures in front of their own pictures, doing selfies in front of their picture. And I was looking at them. I thought you didn't want to give us your picture.
They didn't understand where you were going.
Exactly. And this year, we have 2 times the people that registered last year already.
Okay.
Last year, we had about 342 who registered. As of today, there are 650 persons who have registered.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the numbers. Wow. How are we going to even attend to all of you?
Yeah. And even the venue.
The venue itself can take 500. So we are not looking for, with what we're seeing, we may have an overflow.
Okay.
And that's why I'm encouraging
Deltans.
Well, we're not talking about that just yet. That's why I'm encouraging practitioners, media enthusiasts. You love television, you love radio. You've got to come early.
Okay.
It's starting 10 for 10.
10 for 10.
Because some of our speakers are leaving that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they mean business with their time.
Right.
And I like it because we are professionals and practitioners in media. So when you say your show goes 10 o'clock, you're on the mic.
Okay.
All right. So just be ready. Come prepared. Register. Dress nice because we're going to be streaming live.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Yes, we're going to be streaming live. I mean, we have partners who've joined us.
Red carpet?
Yes. It's a black carpet.
Okay, black carpet.
Yeah, it's
White?
a black carpet.
White, black.
Yeah. I mean, the design this year.
Okay.
If you came last year and you saw wonders, this time around you will see signs and wonders.
Okay, signs will join wonders. Wow. All right, viewer, that's what we're going to end our program for today. Thank you, Ruki, for being there. And of course, Ify and Success for having me here with me since the morning. Of course, our guys in the control room, thank you for the good job you're doing. We'll be back next week with Morning Dew. Bye for now. Wake up with us every morning.
will bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.